I'd like to call to order the city council meeting, regular meeting for April 11th, 2023. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Perkins.
Here.
Councilmember Rubio.
Here.
Councilmember Burrows.
Here.
Vice Mayor Armstrong.
Here.
And Mayor Hudson is not with us this evening.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask Sarah LaShonlo if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Please be seated. All right, on to announcements. Do we have any changes to this evening's agenda, Madam Clerk?
There are no changes to the order of the agenda.
Okay. Thank you. Then we will move on to item 3.2. If you wish to speak under public comment or regarding an item on the agenda, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room and submit it to the city clerk. If you're participating remotely, click the raise your hand button on your computer or *9 on your telephone to request to speak when public comment is being taken on the agenda item. Item 3.3, board, committee, and commission meetings. A complete list of upcoming meetings may be found on the city's website at www.sanramon.ca.gov. Subscription service is available at the link for automatic meeting notification. Contact the city clerk with questions at 925-973-2539. Okay, item 4, public comment. At this time, the public is permitted to address the city council on items that are on the consent calendar, including requests to pull an item from the consent calendar and the reason why you wish to pull the item or items. Please note that the decision to remove the item from the consent calendar is strictly at the discretion of the city council. You may speak on requests for future agenda items or special presentation items under section 6 of tonight's agenda. You may also speak on items that are not on the agenda and are within the city council's jurisdiction. Again, if you wish to speak, please use the raise your hand button on your computer or *9 on your telephone. And public comment is now open. And do we have any speaker cards?
We've received 5 speaker cards. The
Okay.
first is from Sarah LaShonlo.
Okay. Sarah, you're up.
All right. Hello. Good evening, City Council members and staff and community. Tonight, I would like to discuss climate action, but not in the ways that I have before, emphasizing the urgency for the sake of our planet. Tonight, I want to pitch what's in it for us. By phasing out pilot light appliances, we will quite literally be saving lives. Every winter, almost 100,000 Americans are hospitalized due to accidental carbon monoxide poisoning, resulting from a blocked flue, a cracked heat exchanger, or some other defect of a gas heater. Speaking of hospitalization, with denser and smarter city planning, access to medical care will be closer as well. According to the NIH, quote, increased journey distance to hospitals appears to be associated with increased risk of mortality. By implementing affordable and comprehensive mass transit, you'll be liberating folks who don't drive. According to the AARP, one of the largest financial burdens of retired folks is transportation, since they either can't or choose not to operate a vehicle, and instead they lean on pricey rideshare programs such as Uber. With more electric vehicles on the road, there are less catalytic converters to steal. With more bikeability and walkability, we'll have less vehicle pedestrian accidents and a healthier, more physically active community. With cleaner air, we will eradicate pollution-induced asthma. With smart planning and mixed-use space, people can walk to the grocery store every couple days instead of packing their 2-week haul in their SUVs, incentivizing fresher, healthier produce eating habits. And not to mention, planning for a trip to the grocery store will be way less stressful. As we stand, there isn't currently sufficient public or political will to address climate action and climate change. And we won't enact anything meaningful or sustained until that willpower is built. We get there by exploring these options and topics with our communities. So I ask that you, the elected body, explore these topics with your constituents. Climate change is a non-linear problem. The impacts may feel negligible today, but they will become more catastrophic and irreversible exponentially in the future. So thank you for all that you have done, and more importantly, thank you for all that you will do for climate and for the environment and for our quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next,
Next, we have Larry Brickle.
Larry.
Thank you for your time. I'm here to speak about Earth Day and environmental programs that the city of San Ramon could enact. It all started with change. I hate change. I would be happy to travel by steam train around the country if this were still possible. But sometimes change is good. Our 25-year-old HVAC needed replacing. It was unreliable and underpowered, but would we like a new heat pump system? Would it meet our needs? With the theme of Earth Day this year of invest in our planet and our gas bills with PG&E for the last 4 months, averaging around $300 a month, we thought it might be time for a change, and a heat pump may be a good idea. So after much thought, we took the plunge and converted our 25-year-old gas-fired HVAC system to a heat pump system, which runs strictly on electricity. Heat pumps are a more efficient way to heat or cool a home, delivering 2 to 4 times more heating energy than they consume in electricity. And they emit no greenhouse gases whatsoever, depending on how the electricity is generated in the local grid. The day came, the truck came, the crew came. What's going to happen next? Would it work well? Would we be sorry? Would we regret the decision? It took most of the day to install the system. They took out the old unit in the garage and the unit outside in the alley. We did keep the existing ducting and vents throughout the house, so there was no change there. It also took no more room in our garage or in our alleyway for the equipment. It even came with a new thermostat. We can control it remotely via a smartphone. What will they think of next? Sliced bread? It works great and is even better than before. More powerful, both when heating and cooling. We are getting plenty of heat now, and also its cooling capacity is great. Thanks to federal and state programs and also tax credits, the net cost was not much more than it would have been to replace our old system with a modern conventional HVAC system. And the conventional HVAC system would have still had the problem of running on gas and the high gas bills. Incentivizing residential heat pumps is a good idea, as heating and cooling takes about 25% of the energy consumed in the average home for single-family dwellings. So I urge the City Council to promote and add additional incentivizing programs for residents, keeping in mind Earth Day, which may be celebrated on April 22nd. And knowing still every day is an Earth Day. It's our future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Larry.
Sue Bach.
Okay, Sue?
Thank you, City Council. Thank you, staff members, for making Earth Day an annual event. Earth Day 2023 is all about investing in our planet. It's no secret that cities, including San Ramon, want to attract global companies to increase their tax base. Global companies need to comply with their own sustainable policies. Those companies will attract younger constituents who are looking for energy efficient homes and easy access to a sustainable resource. For example, we need to provide easy charging options for EVs, which are becoming increasingly popular. Thank you to the City Council for making San Ramon the #2 city in Contra Costa County for EV chargers. As a family that owns an EV car and a level 2 charger, which is a converted clothes dryer outlet, we are fortunate enough to be able to afford the necessary infrastructure. However, for many others who are less fortunate, they will have to rely on fast charging, which is a level 3 charger. This puts a lot of demand on the charging stations and can shorten the life of the car battery. Recently, while checking out the chargers near Petco, we had a chat with a young resident who had a Tesla. He was only doing fast charging because his landlord refused to let him pay to install a level 2 charger, which takes about 6 hours to charge, basically overnight. So he was worried about decreasing his battery life. This is what renters are up against, including those that would be considered workforce housing recipients. Since 2015, the California Green Building Standards Code, Cal Green, requires 100% of new single-family homes to be EV capable. The currently proposed state code update requires only 40% of parking in new multifamily housing to be wired for charging. Considering the higher demand for charging in our city, I request that San Ramon upgrade from above the California requirements for new multifamily housing in San Ramon to 100%. Level 2 chargers are preferred for those who want to charge their EVs overnight. Level 1 chargers are simply regular outlets, which take 3 days to get a full charge. Let's prioritize sustainability and invest in our planet for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sue.
Taiwan Secondary.
Hi, I didn't expect to come and argue or try to present arguments or talking points regarding electric vehicles, but I think I have to. Every electric car you buy using tax dollars, you create dead lithium battery someday that will create blood poisoning in children, unusable land for agriculture, and carbon emission required to recycle these batteries with chemicals now mostly available in Chile and Republic of Congo. Both countries are friends with Communist China, who wants to rule the world. Capitalism is demand. Capitalism economy is demand drives supply. Electric cars is supply force legislate demand. It's a communist model of transportation. Elon Musk's mother was recently in communist China, schmoozing the communist Chinese elitists. Those who want to drive electric cars, God bless them. Those of us, which is 93% of new car purchasers in America, who do not want to poison kids in Congo and Chile, should be free to buy petrol cars that are now made with more emission conscientious than ever before. More jobs in America are in petrol cars. New jobs created related to electric cars are mostly in communist China. Then they create mining jobs in Congo and Chile. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I still have 1 minute and 29 seconds. I would like the council to please compel the district attorney to present why they are using almost $400,000 of additional fund for next budget cycle. All the departments came up here to present except his department. And his department, in my opinion, has cost us most unpredictable costs, such as the $50,000 we just sunk in for Marketplace, $100,000 for Scott Rafferty when we were doing district election. He never really defends us. We just keep paying him to help those who come and attack us. I really would like to know, what does his department do besides telling you to not pull consent agenda items when the public asks you to pull it? We want to hold his department accountable, and his department is very Asian. And if I remember correctly, last year they had requested a CIP. We've already covered one additional assistant last year. So why do we keep spending more money in his department? I would like accountability report, please. Well, I'm already over time. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Jared Kathrani.
Name again, please. Shrock. Okay.
Hello. Hi, I'm here on Earth Day. I want to introduce you guys a site, Lead for Earth, where we can express our opinion. Even if we are climate denier, we say that we are climate denier. And if somebody wants to lead the climate, at least we want people to start talking about it. Leaders should talk about it. If people go and put their comments in, put their opinion that we care for climate, I think leader will automatically follow. And leadership is most important thing to do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else?
There are no more speaker cards, and it looks like we have no hands raised on Zoom.
No written comments on this item?
No written comments.
Okay, then I will close public comment and we'll move on to item 5, the consent calendar. Do we have a motion on the consent calendar? I can move.
I'll move.
Okay, we have mover, well,
He-
I heard some moving, but I see Perkins moving and Rose seconding.
I see what's happening here. No, kidding.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so motion is adopted or for the consent calendar. And we will now move on to item 6, special presentation. So the first presentation will be a proclamation declaring April 15th, 2023 as Arbor Day. Introduction by Stephen Cox, Recreation Supervisor. And I will present to Public Works Certified Arborist Gary Savell. Come on up, Steve.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank the city council for having us here tonight. Mayor Armstrong, you took up most of what I was going to say, but I do want to know this coming Saturday, we have our Parks Make Life Better Day at Forest Home Farms. That will be from 9 to noon and will include the Arbor Day celebration. And so it's a great day out at Forest Home Farms and we expect nice weather. The Parks Make Life Better Day will also include cleaning up the Forest Home Farm property, putting out new mulch, potentially painting the picket fence, and just overall making the property look a little nicer. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Gary Savell, who is the Public Services Supervisor and City of San Ramon Certified Arborist, and who will receive tonight's Arbor Day proclamation.
How about if I do the proclamation first, and then we'll give you a chance to say something? Is that all right?
Well, while we're waiting on the mayor, or vice mayor to get up there, I think this is a beautiful time of year to be an arborist, I would say. I mean, the cherry trees, the locusts, I'd see the locusts are now blooming, as well as tulip trees, and gosh, it just might be a great time to be an arborist, to see all the explosion of green and flowers.
Okay, hey, Gary. Thank you, Steve. All right, this is a proclamation of the City Council, the City of San Ramon, declaring April 15th, 2023 as Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday, known as Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout our nation and across the world. And whereas trees help to conserve energy by reducing heating and cooling costs, moderate temperatures, prevent the erosion of valuable topsoil caused by wind and water, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource that provide us with proper wood for our homes and countless other products. And whereas trees in our cities increase property values and enhance the economic vitality of business areas and beautify our community. And whereas trees can be a source of joy and spiritual renewal. And whereas the city of San Ramon has planned an Arbor Day event and tree planting on April 15th, 2023 at Forest Home Farms Historic Park, which fulfills the requirement for designation as a Tree City USA. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of San Ramon does hereby proclaim Saturday, April 15th, 2023 as Arbor Day in the City of San Ramon. And we urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day by supporting the proper maintenance and enhancement of trees in our community and by planting trees as a means of conserving energy, gladdening the heart, and promoting the well-being of this and future generations. Dated April 11th, 2023. Gary, there you go.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor Armstrong and council members. Good evening. I want to thank Steve also for his introduction. As Steve mentioned, I'm a certified arborist in the Public Works Department, one of 3 within our department. Collectively, we manage the city's urban forest of just under 50,000 city-owned trees. These are trees found along our streets, our trails, and dispersed throughout our parks and open space. Our canopy is comprised of 173 different species, valued at just over $69 million. And that number continues to increase in value as trees grow and mature. Arbor Day is celebrated each month of April, coinciding with a month-long celebration of Earth awareness and advocating for change around issues affecting our environment. But I feel we can take it even further. We should celebrate each and every day. Trees are a great natural resource that provide us tremendous benefits, some of which we take for granted. The benefits are incredible. They protect our home, providing shade and lowering utility bills. They intercept rainwater and reduce runoff. They filter noise, dust, and pollution in our neighborhoods. They increase property values and the aesthetics of the urban environment. They foster biodiversity, and most importantly, they improve our mental and physical well-being, along with so much more. However, the urban forest canopy is not invincible and faces regular challenges such as pests, disease, drought years, severe storms, and even development. We all need to do our part in protecting this natural resource. With a little effort today, by planting a single tree, we can make a greener tomorrow and for generations to come. So I hope everyone can join us on April 15th down at Forest Home Farms and plant a new hope, a new life, and a healthier tomorrow. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gary. Okay, council members, comments.
Happy Arbor Day. Thanks to all arborists for taking care of our 50,000 community trees. One of the beauty, especially this year, as Council Member Perkins mentioned, that wherever you drive, the trees, they look so beautiful, and the cherry blossom and all that. I think this year I seen a lot more people coming out and taking pictures, and our social media, especially the social media of San Ramon, was like blasted everywhere with our trees, and it's amazing. And especially, I don't know if you drive on Windermere Parkway. Every time I drive, I feel so privileged. Like, it's so beautiful, amazing. So once again, thank you very much. And also thanks to all our community members who are very well aware of this importance of the tree and planting trees in their backyards, also taking care of them. As in the proclamation, we mentioned, it's not just about aesthetics, it's also about clean air, shade, and also helps the wildlife habitat, all those good things that happen from it. So thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marisol.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations and thank you for all that you do. And I have to echo honestly much of what Councilmember Burrows already said. Additionally, I would add, just, for our mental health and well-being overall, I mean, just for me at least, we have those cherry blossoms like right on the front of my house, like they're everywhere and they're just so beautiful. And it's so soothing in so many ways. And it's not just about beautifying the city, but really what it does for our sense of calm and well-being. And so, thank you to all of you for really making this a beautiful city that stands out. I mean, everybody who sees pictures of San Ramon, they're always in awe at how beautiful this city is. So, and that's all I can say, because I think much of it was covered. Obviously, the trees, and we know that it helps. Any greenery is good for the environment. It's going to absorb that carbon dioxide. So, and put out oxygen, which is what we need. So, thank you so much again, and we appreciate you.
Scott, I already said, great time to be an arborist, isn't it? It really is nice. Just wish they wouldn't shade my solar panels. No, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. All right, and thank you, Gary. 50,000 trees, that's quite remarkable. I participated in the tree planting the last 2 years over at Forest Home Farms. Last year, pouring down rain, but we still got her done. I will say it's also good for our pollinators, all these trees, especially in the springtime season. I'm a beekeeper. I've got bees all in the East Bay and over on the peninsula. And I will tell you, they've been busy lately. A lot of pollen, a lot of nectar being collected, and it's good for all of our pollinators. So thank you for what you do to take care of them, and happy Arbor Day.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we will no council action required on that. We're going to move on to our next proclamation. This is declaring April 22nd, 2023 as Earth Day. And I will do another proclamation. I will do the presentation to Carrie Parker, Solid Waste and Environmental Services Program Manager. Just give me a second.
No problem.
Talking trash, right?
Yes, if I can. I will.
Right. Okay, this one's a little bit longer, but here we go. A proclamation of the City Council of the City of San Ramon designating April 22nd, 2023 as Earth Day. Whereas the original Earth Day was on April 22nd, 1970, when a small group of people resolved to become better stewards of the planet by discovering ways to lighten the environmental impacts of industry and conserve precious resources. And whereas this year is the 53rd anniversary celebrating this day of action and personal contemplation to change human behavior and preserve environmental quality in all aspects of life, where over 1 billion people every year focus on the planet on this day. And whereas the theme of this year's Earth Day is invest in our planet, meaning business, government, civil society, and all citizens are equally responsible for taking action and lighting the spark to accelerate change towards a green, prosperous, and equitable future. And whereas the City of San Ramon has created myriad programs to reduce waste, improve water quality, mitigate pollution, provide alternative transit options, and look for ways to preserve the beauty of the San Ramon Valley. And whereas the City of San Ramon has taken a number of actions to address our ever-changing climate, some of which include adopting a climate action plan, selecting Marin Clean Energy, MCE, as an electricity provider for San Ramon, in large part because of the higher clean energy content MCE offers, investing in clean energy, efficient building technologies for the new City Hall, planning for smart growth and infill development, increasing composting and recycling in city facilities. And whereas San Ramon residents take great pride in the community, celebrate strategies to reduce greenhouse gases, divert recyclables away from the landfill, and laud the efforts to support a clean and safe environment in which to raise our children. And whereas to reduce single-use plastic pollution, the city has formed the Trash-Free San Ramon program to remind and inform the public that using reusable dishware is a key to reducing avoidable trash and litter in our waterways, and to celebrate restaurants that assist in this effort by providing reusable dishware to customers. And whereas Earth Day is an excellent opportunity for everyone in San Ramon to join the effort to protect our planet by becoming conscious of the challenging challenges facing our environment locally, nationally, and globally. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of San Ramon proclaims April 22nd, 2023 as Earth Day in the City of San Ramon and encourages all residents and businesses to make decisions every day to reduce their impact on the environment and to invest in our planet. Dated April 11th, 2023. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Armstrong. Hello, council members and city staff. Thank you. I was here a year ago to accept a proclamation for trash-free San Ramon. And we did that in celebration of Earth Day. And so it is exciting to kind of wrap up one year. And I thought at the end of that year, you might want to hear a little update on that trash-free San Ramon project. And just to remind you, as we did in the proclamation, that it is a waste reduction technique to use less, right? Use a reusable wherever possible, and also to support those who want to use reusable. So the restaurants that are in San Ramon. So I would like to recognize the 19 certified trash-free San Ramon restaurants. And I'm going to do it really quick, speed round. I'm going to say right now, 14 of the certified restaurants are at City Center. 15 are at City Center, 4 are located elsewhere in San Ramon. See if you can figure out what those 4 are. Ready? Sea Casa, Chow, Curry Up Now, De La Rosa, Earth Bar, Eric's Deli, LB Steak, Fieldwork, Marugami Udon, Mixed, Panera, Ramen Hiroshi, Rome, Shish Grill, Slanted Door, Social Affair, Starbucks, World Wraps, and Indian Hotspot. Those restaurants either provide reusable dishware when their customers need it, or they sell it, or they incentivize the refill of your cup. So in those actions, they have become certified trash-free San Ramon restaurants, and I urge you to go there and bring your reusables or enjoy theirs. I also want to recognize 3 youth that have focused on the Trash-Free San Ramon program, 2 of which are graduating this year from Doherty Valley High School. The first one, and she was our first volunteer, is Julianne Park. She and her brother Aiden Park have developed several programs surrounding Trash-Free San Ramon because they loved it so much. They have been galvanized to reach out to their classmates and urge them to be trash-free tigers or in the Trash-Free San Ramon Club. They have developed 2 trash-free scavenger hunts, either to bring your cup in to get it refilled or to find the different trash-free restaurants that I just listed. They've conducted outreach at grocery stores. They've handed out reusable bags. They've conducted outreach at the farmers market, and they are currently developing a curriculum to encourage schools to be less wasteful through the students, rather than imposing it on the school itself. And then one more youth volunteer has been Marcus Mentivara. He is a Boy Scout, and he surrounded his Eagle Scout project on Trash-Free San Ramon. He scheduled 7 outreach events, PTA meetings, and outreach locations at Starbucks. He gave out 303 trash-free stickers to San Ramon residents interested in being trash-free. He gave out 55 to 60 reusable cups in partnership with Starbucks. Starbucks donated those cups to be given out. He collected 336 signatures from San Ramon residents who pledged to be trash-free, and spent 260.25 total hours working on the project. He inspired 22 scouts to help with this trash-free project, and several of those scouts wish to have a trash-free Eagle Scout project themselves. And that's all I have to say about that. Happy Earth Day, and thank you.
All right. Thank you, Carrie. All right. Who'd like to start us off?
I will just say thank you very much for helping those scouts. You may or may not know I'm a scout leader myself and an Eagle advisor, so I may send one or two your way. That's fabulous. Thank you so much for doing that.
Okay, Marisol?
First, congratulations again also to you. I just want to say, you do some important work. Solid waste is a really important field right now. And, it's one of the sources that we're looking, obviously using and trying to come up with ways of how we can come up with energy, right? Produce energy from it. And, I just can't, I'm just really happy to hear about Arbor Day and Earth Day because I can't think of a greater legacy that we can leave to the next generation, except to leave them with a world that is equally, if not better, shaped than the one we lived in. So thank you so much for your time and dedication to this effort.
Thank you, Kerry, and your team for leading the effort on solid waste and our environmental services. We appreciate all your great work and taking the opportunity of the Earth Day. 12 years back, they used to say, hey, next generation is going to be impacted because of the climate change and all that, right? But now if you see, we did so bad that we made it so fast that now forget about next generation. We are already started facing the climate change impacts. So it's time that we all need to take it seriously and think about our place, the home, Earth, to make sure we take care of it. In the past, like sometime back, people used to talk about their backyards and all that. But if you remember, like in 3 or 4 years back, or even 3 years back, right, because of the fires and all that, when our clouds became like Mars-like looking clouds, then people started realizing when they are not able to go out, it's not anymore about your backyard or front yard or whatever it is, right? It's about your Earth. If you don't have if you don't have a clean air and a clean space, then there is no way you can go enjoy anything in your life, right? That's what the message that brought to us from Nature Earth. So we need to take that seriously, I think, everyone. And I'm very glad that our community members, especially a lot of our residents, are well aware about climate. And 5 years back, I used to see very few electric vehicles, but now I can say a lot, especially San Ramon. The number of electric vehicles or solar implementation, all that increased big time. So thanks to leadership from your team, as well as we have some great leadership from San Ramon Valley Climate. Thank you for doing that, Sarah, and all your volunteers. We appreciate that. And thanks to all our community members who take it very seriously and help to tackle this climate change. Thank you.
Okay, and happy Earth Day to everyone coming up on April 22nd. There was a lot in that proclamation. It was a long one, but there was a lot of powerful information in there. One of the things that was mentioned in there that it takes all of us, right? It's business, it's government, it's our civic society, which is kind of like the nonprofits or private organizations, and it takes all of our citizens. And that's probably one of the most important things I want to kind of emphasize that it's individual citizen actions that can make a huge difference. And we heard some examples of that during public comment this evening on this item. So there's a lot of great examples of things that individual citizens can be doing to help out our Earth. So thank you for your Trash-Free San Ramon program. And hopefully you can all help celebrate when you all go to Sheep Shearing Day on April 22nd over at Forest Home Farms.
All right. By the way, I want to say thanks to Council Member Perkins.
Yeah.
Council Member Perkins lead us in MCE. He represent our council.
97% greenhouse gas free electricity. 97%.
97. Thank you.
Okay, no council action required on this item either. So we will move on to item 6.3. That is a presentation to San Ramon Senior Center Foundation. Being chosen as the California Parks and Recreation Society District 3 Outstanding Nonprofit Organization Partner and the CPRS State Award for Champion of the Community. And we're going to hear from Becky Adams with a presentation to Vera Wimbush from the San Ramon Senior Center Foundation.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Good evening, Vice Mayor, fellow council members, staff, and members of the public. We're going to switch gears a little bit from the two previous presentations, from environmental to something that's equally as important, and that's volunteerism. And so it's my great pleasure to be here tonight to recognize a group who is near and dear to my heart, and that is the San Ramon Senior Center Foundation. They are being recognized as recipients of 2 awards from the California Parks and Recreation Society, also known as CPRS. And presenting the awards to the Senior Foundation is made even more special tonight because April is National Volunteer Month, and even more specifically, next week, April 16th to the 22nd is National Volunteer Week. And so there's no better way to celebrate all of the wonderful volunteers here in San Ramon who give tirelessly to their community, them providing the foundation with 2 very well-deserved awards. And so CPRS is a professional organization for parks and recreational professionals here in California. And there's the state organization, and then there's also regional and districts. And District 3 is where San Ramon falls, and that is for Alameda and Contra Costa counties. And so each year CPRS allows award submittals to recognize programs, organizations, and facilities that are outstanding in their region and also within the state. And so staff from each entity submits the awards applications, and the applications are reviewed by a panel of judges, and they are judged based on their merit. I am proud to be able to say that our very own San Ramon Senior Center Foundation is the recipient of these 2 awards. And tonight I will be presenting to them the District 3 Award for Outstanding Nonprofit Organization Partner, as well as the State Award, which is Champion of the Community. And so a little bit about the foundation, and I can go on for hours about the foundation, but I was limited on words when I had to do the submittal. And so I just took some excerpts from that tonight. And so the foundation is being honored for their continued support for the programs, activities, and services at the Alcosta Senior and Community Center. Many of the foundation members volunteer in the kitchen to support daily meal service. They serve as computer docents. They serve to lead many of the activities that happen at the center. And they've also volunteered as front desk greeters and pretty much anything else that we may need at the center as well. The foundation members volunteer their time to fundraise in order to help support the programs at the senior center. And some of the foundation's major fundraising events include their weekly Tuesday bingo, the annual spring fashion show and tea, which was just on April 1st, and then the holiday favorite, the Holiday Boutique, which takes place in November. And over the years, the Senior Foundation has provided hundreds of thousands of dollars of support to the center, including funding for Meals on Wheels, a new pool table, new furniture throughout the facility, as well as reupholstering that furniture when it was needed, monthly movies. And like I said, I could just go on for hours and hours for everything that they do. The San Ramon Senior Center Foundation is a nonprofit dedicated to the improvement of the Alcosta Senior and Community Center and the well-being of San Ramon's aging population. The foundation's members are deeply ingrained in the soul of the Alcosta Senior and Community Center, and that is what makes the center so special and keeps people coming back day after day after day. The foundation is truly a special organization consisting of an even more dedicated group of individuals, and the city of San Ramon is incredibly thankful to be able to call them our own. So with that, I would like to invite the members of the Senior Foundation who are in attendance tonight. We have Vera Wimbush, who is the president of the Senior Foundation. We also have Cam Reed. We have Mary Davis, Jackie Essie, and Jennifer Moffitt. And so ladies, we have worked together for almost a decade, and it is truly my pleasure and honor to be able to witness how selflessly all of you give back to the community and make the Alcosta Senior and Community Center a wonderful place for San Ramon's aging population. So thank you all. This is for you.
And we have another one. This one was for the Outstanding Nonprofit Organization. And then the second one is for Champion of the Community. And All right,
All right.
picture time. All right, thank you, ladies, and congratulations, Vera.
Thank you.
That's good. That one's good. Thank you.
Vera, you gonna say anything?
I wasn't expecting to say anything, but thank you. They are a wonderful team, I have to admit. I became the president just under a year, and I came to the Senior Centre 4 years ago, and I've loved every minute of the Senior Centre. And I would like to say thank you to the members of the foundation, past and present. They have done a wonderful job, all the ladies that help and gentlemen we have. I'd also like to thank Steve Cox and Becky Adams for all their support as well for the foundation. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. We are so proud to receive these awards. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Vera. Okay, Scott, you want to kick
Well,
us
let's
off?
see. I want to thank the foundation for the support you give to the senior center. Whenever I participate with the infrastructure committee and they talk about how we're going to fix this and we're going to fix that, and they always point out the things that the foundation is going to pay for this and the foundation is going to pay for that. And so those things just add so much value to the senior center and all the people that use it. And I am very, very grateful that you do what you do and glad you have the time to spend on it. This is fabulous. Thank you.
All right, Marisol.
So yes, thank you so much to the foundation, especially to the leadership for really taking care of our seniors and making sure that their golden years are their best years in their life. The work that you're doing in this award, it really demonstrates the compassion and the dedication that you have to making sure that everyone has a life that is a happy life, a meaningful life full of joy. And especially in those last years is so important. And I just want to really say that I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Sridhar.
Congratulations, San Ramon Senior Foundation. So thank you very much for all your selfless dedication, work, and with a passion that you serve our community. Actually, I'm really liking today's meeting because today we could able to say thanks to all our great volunteers, right? So, and great community leaders. I really appreciate all your work that you do for our community seniors. Definitely looking forward to work with you if at any capacity. If you need any help or assistance, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always there to work with you and help you. Once again, thank you very much for all your work.
All right. I think so. I started. Yeah, good. Okay. Well, I also want to thank Vera and the Senior Center Foundation members who are present tonight. There's others out there. I've had the privilege of being the city council liaison to the Senior Center Foundation, attended some of their meetings, and you all do great work. A lot of your fundraising activities that go towards our, the computer lab, the meal programs, upholstering the furniture, as we've heard, and just the activities that you coordinate, the different bingo events and the spring fashion show and tea, as well as the holiday boutique. Great fundraisers, all going towards a worthwhile cause to help out our seniors. So congratulations. And thanks to Steve and Becky also for your support of the foundation and our senior program. So thank you again to all of you. Okay, again, no council action is required on this item. So we are going to move on to deferred consent items, which we have none. Item 8, no city council appointments at this time. And so we're moving on to item 9, unfinished business. This is item 9.1, resolution number 2023-038, authorizing the vice mayor to sign a letter to Mayor Hudson regarding the status of the mayor's seat. And I guess we are going to go over to City Attorney Martin License to tee this one up.
Thank you and good evening, Mr. Vice Mayor and members of the council. At our last meeting on March 28th, the council had a discussion regarding Mayor Hudson's recent absences due to his medical condition. And as you recall, the council formed an ad hoc committee to draft a letter to Mayor Hudson for approval of the full council. Vice Mayor Armstrong and Council member Marisol Rubio were assigned to the subcommittee, and their draft letter is attached to the staff report for this evening. Now, if the council votes to send the letter out to the mayor, then staff will finalize the letter for the vice mayor's signature. Alternatively, the council can make changes to the letter and pass the resolution to send the letter out as amended. And then finally, the council may also decide not to send the letter at all or to put this matter off by continuing it to a later date. With that, I'm just going to turn this back over to the vice mayor and allow the council to discuss and decide what to do about the letter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Before we open up public comment on this item, does council have any questions on either the content of the letter or the process that Councilmember Rubio and I took to draft the letter or the resolution for this evening? Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, if there are no questions, then I will open up public comment on this item. And this time, public comment is open. And do we have any speaker cards?
We received one speaker card from Gary Alpert. Oh,
Yeah, I think
my
that's-
apologies, wrong item. We have no speaker cards, no hands raised, and no written public comment.
okay.
We have one speaker.
We have one speaker.
Taiwan's a country.
Council members, the reason why I didn't give you a card is because I'm a responsible public commenter. I don't know what to comment if I don't know what's going on. I was expecting the council to say something about the content of the letter you're going to send mayor, but I didn't hear anything like that. So I don't even know how you guys are going to vote. Are you guys all fortune tellers? Or maybe you already know what you're going to, what's in the letter? Would you kindly share with us what you plan to say to the mayor? And so then we can tell you what we would like or don't like you to say. I don't know why it's listed, but it's as good as not listed. But in any case, I want to show Mayor Hudson that we really miss you and we really hope that you will get better and come back soon to join us. And God bless you and your family. So what did you say in your letter? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other comments?
No more comments.
Okay, so I'll close public comment on this item. So it's over to council. So you have a copy of the letter in the packet. And
I was very, very pleased with the tone of the letter in telling Mayor Hudson how much we look forward to his recovery and return and how we can accommodate him if possible. There are legal issues that we can work through. Hopefully we can find a path, but it works out for all if Mayor Hudson is able to return to this position and continue to serve as mayor. And I really liked the tone of your letter. You guys did a great job. Thank you.
thank you.
I'll go with Council Member Perkins. It's it is very well written letter, and we are all wishing that he is well, recover, come back. That's what we are looking forward for. This is a part of the process that we have to do it. It's not like we want to do things without any reason, but there is a reason and there is a rules and regulations, guidelines that we need to follow, right? So thank you very much for stepping up and taking your time, energy in putting together this nice letter. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. I'll just add that as we thought about drafting the letter, the intent of that was to try to capture the essence of the conversation that was held at our, the previous meeting back on the, was it the 28th of March? There was a lot that was said, a lot of public sentiment, public comment, a lot of family members spoke, council members spoke, members, former council members and former mayors. So a lot of information was conveyed, as well as some of the details of our municipal code, of kind of Brown Act and things like that. But what we wanted to do was take the intent of the letter was to really convey our sentiment and our well wishes for a speedy recovery, a speedy return. That's obviously the best case outcome, is a speedy return of Mayor Hudson back to the dais, back to city business, or participation in a transitional way of some sort that we might accommodate. So sooner we can get to that, the better. We didn't include a lot of the legal aspects of the discussion from the March 28th meeting, but we kind of made a reference that there's a recording of the meeting. Staff is available to answer additional details. But the important thing is we want to convey our sentiment, the sentiment of the public, desire for Mayor Hudson's quick return, and also an encouragement of dialogue and communication, so that we can get from him updates on his status, or potential timing of return, or special potential accommodations that we might have to consider as he transitions back into the business of being the mayor for the city of San Ramon. So that was our intent. And if there's no objection, the resolution that's before us is to essentially summarize what we've all been talking about here, what's in the letter, and also authorize me to go ahead and sign that letter, and we'll get that out to Mayor Hudson. Anything else from city attorney on this issue?
No, at this point, the council could entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Okay.
I move we adopt the resolution
Okay.
as written.
Okay. Mover, Councilmember Perkins. Second was Councilmember Veros. And okay, the resolution is approved by a 4-0 vote, one absent, and with that, we will move on to item 10, new business. 10.1, general plan and zoning consistency determination under the Housing Accountability Act. And we have a staff report by Martin License. I know there's others in the audience prepared to answer questions as well, but Martin, you want to go ahead with this?
Thank you again, Mr. Vice Mayor. As the council knows, SB 330 became effective as of January 1st of 2020. And under SB 330, among other things, the city cannot deny a residential development or reduce the number of units in a residential development unless that denial or reduction of units is based on objective standards. Also, once the application is deemed complete, SB 330 limits the number of hearings that the city can hold on a project to 5. So under this new version of the Housing Accountability Act, which is as amended by SB 330, once the city deems a housing project application complete, it has to provide documentation to the applicant that would identify any inconsistencies with objective plans, programs, policies, and standards. And to shorten that, I'll call them applicable objective standards. So that written documentation has to include an explanation of why it considers the project to be inconsistent with the applicable objective standards. And we would call that documentation the compliance determination. And for projects of 150 units or less, the city has 30 days to provide that compliance determination to the applicant. And for larger projects, it has 60 days. Now, SB 330 lists all kinds of limitations regarding the compliance determination, but it really doesn't give a lot of detail about how the compliance determination is to be issued or what exactly the process should be, or even about who actually signs the letter. So over the course of the last several months, the Planning Commission and staff have been working to put together a process for the city to issue that compliance determination. And at the Planning Commission meeting of January 17th, the commission asked staff to bring the matter to the Policy Committee, which met on February 22nd. And at that meeting, we heard concerns from the committee and from the public about transparency, about potential litigation, and about how best to comply with both city ordinances and state laws in light of the new restrictions under SB 330. And the committee referred the matter to the full city council, which is why we're here. But in the meantime, Debbie Chamberlain and I have met with the chair of the commission, who's sitting in our audience, Gary Alpert, and Commissioner Wallace, to try to come up with a procedure that works for everyone. And all agreed in that meeting that any procedure that would be adopted would have to meet certain criteria. It would have to comply with state laws, including the Housing Accountability Act and SB 330, and its strict timelines for the consistency determination. It would have to comply and not add any challenges to the 5-meeting limit once staff has deemed the application complete. We would have to have detailed and accurate project evaluations against the objective written standards. And also we would want to have a publicly noticed workshop before staff deems the application complete in order to get feedback from both the commission and the public. And that as a result of that workshop, staff would draft and issue that compliance determination in order to beat the 30 or 60-day timeline. This procedure would give the public a voice, but also keep the public informed about how SB 330 limits the city's authority. So collectively, we've come up with that new procedure, and it's attachment A of the staff report. And this new procedure, in my view, and I think in the opinion of our commissioners, meets the criteria listed and addresses the concerns that came forth in the policy committee meeting. So in a nutshell, the new procedure gives notice and opportunity to comment to both the commission and the public very early in the process, but ultimately staff will issue the compliance determination based on all input received. Now, it won't be long before we get a chance to try out the new procedure, as staff has already received an application for the Iron Horse Village project, which is subject to the Housing Accountability Act as amended by SB 330. So staff will work with the commission to apply the new procedure to this project. And if staff or members of the commission identify ways to improve the new procedure as we process the Iron Horse Village project, we can always work with the commission to tweak that project, to tweak that process for the next time. And since this is a procedural outline and not a policy, staff and the commission may implement minor changes without having to bring it back to policy committee or the council. There's also no action needed this evening by the council, as we're just providing this information to you as a matter of community-wide interest. And so with that, I'd like to thank the commissioners who worked with us to create this new procedure and turn the meeting back over to you, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Okay, thanks. Questions from the council before we go to public comment? Good questions. Anyone? Okay, no questions, then we will open public comment. And I think we heard there's at least one speaker card and now maybe two.
No, just one, and it is for Gary Alpert.
Okay. Gary Alpert, come on up.
Well, good evening, and thank you for letting me speak for a minute. First of all, as you know, I'm the Planning Commission Chair right now, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the full commission because we've never, as a body, discussed this. But at the policy meeting, we did have 3 of the 4 commissioners speak, and I think the sentiments that we expressed at that meeting are captured here. And I think the process that we've developed will actually improve the the process that we have, where we have these housing opportunity sites being presented or trying to maintain our compliance with SB 330. There are two areas that I want to just highlight. In my opinion, it's the first one that City Attorney License mentioned, comply with state laws. And the last one is to give the public a voice before making any final decisions. And I think this process captures that. In many ways, we're threading a needle between state law and what we would like to do, but I think we've done this. And I'm here to just say that I think this process is good. I'm looking forward to it with Iron Horse Village. And as Martin said, we will be adjusting as we get better and learn more. Lastly, I just want to thank the City Council as well as the Policy Committee for listening to the questions, comments, and concerns that we had and helping us to come to where we are right now. And I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, any questions? Gary? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. All right, do we have any other public comments?
We do. We have a public comment from Susie Ferris Indercom.
Okay. Is this online or in the room? Is Susie here?
She is on Zoom.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you for looking for me though, Vice Mayor. I just want to second a little bit of what Commissioner Alpert said. And as a representative for Citizens Against the Marketplace Area Development, I do want to stress that this was one of the outcomes that we were hoping for with much of our activities. I'm very pleased to see the public noticed workshop before staff deems the application complete, which is what starts to tick things off. That would have been absolutely a huge improvement to what happened with the marketplace, because there was no early workshop. And I think that would have changed the outcome significantly on the marketplace. So that's a real plus. I am still a little troubled by the fact that staff has the ability to deem the application complete. And my other concern is that of everything in here, which I think is definitely an improvement because it's written down and people can ask to see what it is and understand how it works. But I don't see any check or balance against the two critical issues that have occurred now on two projects, the most recent being Marketplace. And that's where staff failed to issue the notice of deficiencies that they were asked to issue by the commissioners. And that was a costly mistake for the Marketplace project. So if there's, I, like Mr. Alpert, will be watching along to see how this new procedure works on the next project here. But I would really ask that you consider adding some type of process step, some kind of verbiage, something that ensures that that doesn't happen again. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Susie. Let's go to any other speakers in the room here.
We do. Taiwan Secountry.
Go ahead.
Hello, council members and vice mayor. I want to ask you, because I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Did you guys ever meet with the staff who failed to issue the letter that the commissioners had asked that staff to issue? I bet you didn't, because I didn't hear anything about it. And I'm wondering if our city attorney has actually talked with his staff regarding that mistake. I don't know if, it was done. I just feel that, we have all these talking points about equity, about inclusion, but then when it comes to real life, we see that there is really no equity. If this was a mistake done by, say, RPD, I'm sure it would be a different way of handling it. But when it is done by certain department, hunky-dory, maybe because the staff who made that mistake is of a certain race, of a certain ethnic background.
That's
So then-
inappropriate. There is nothing to do with race.
Well,
Do
then,
not-
please show
do
us
not
that
bring-
is the
do not
case.
Bring that
Then,
topic up.
but then, you know
It's
what?
not-
All
it's
the
nothing
talking
to do-
points these days is about inclusion. As a matter of fact, the community, Parks and Community, is going to ask for money for equity and racial social inclusion training. So if you're going to use my money, every talking points opens up. So please show us that the same mistake is not going to happen by talking to that staff. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
No more public comments.
Okay, so the item, we'll close public comment. The item is before the council now for any discussion.
No action needs to be taken.
No action.
I read through it and I'm hopeful that this will allow the community to participate. It will allow the planning commission to participate before that final letter gets sent. And I think the issue that's probably the biggest is we really need to have objective design standards, because it's only through objective design standards that we get any substantive say in what a project will be. And so there's a lot of work to be done there. And I'm hopeful that the planning division, Lauren, and the planning commission and the council and the attorney can find a way to create those objective design standards that will serve our community in the long run and make the process very open and straightforward, so that the developer knows what's allowed and there won't be a real challenge in just making those decisions.
Okay, Marisol.
Well, I just want to say, I commend both the planning commission and the staff for coming up with something that's mutually agreeable and satisfactory. I think upon reviewing it, it's very well balanced. I think it's a great way to allow both parties to have a voice in the process. And I think it'll make the job for the planning commission a lot easier when it comes to your table after it's approved. So thank you so much to both of you for the energy and the effort and the willingness to negotiate and work this out in the best interest of the city at the end of the day. Thank you.
Sridhar,
I echo Council Member Rubio's comments. Thanks. Appreciate your leadership, Planning Commission leadership, appreciate staff leadership coming together and bringing a well-planned and well thoughtful plan to address our requirements, especially when it came to our policy committee. The key was how we can keep it transparent within the public. So I think what you provided here, the plan, it's pretty much serves our objective of making sure that community members, residents receive the information about the development, the project, and also community members get an opportunity to provide the feedback. They can provide the feedback about the development project. So I think that objective is well achieved with this plan. Once I appreciate it. And also, as Council Member Perkins mentioned, we need to work on our objectives, strengthen our objectives so that we can have much more clear transparency with the community residents, so that I understand what's happening and what's going on whenever there's a new development project is coming up on the table. So thank you very much once again.
Yeah, and I think this is important to talk about this in a public forum. We all saw this play out throughout the whole marketplace development consideration played out in the public. And I think I want to hand it to the policy committee for initially kind of having this discussion, entertaining all the comments that were made at that time. Thank you to the planning staff, planning commissioners for their participation in coming up with these procedures. This transparency is really important. And not only is there transparency, but these procedures will kind of highlight, where is there compliance and that sort of thing. I think it's most important that as these procedures highlight that there is a publicly noticed meeting for the public and the planning commission to be able to express any concerns with respect to consistency on either the general plan or the zoning ordinance. And then likewise, it's similar, it's important that the planning staff consider those comments of the public and the planning commission before making that consistency determination. And I think the procedures outlined here where there's a workshop and there's a project webpage that'll be set up. I think that'll go a long way towards kind of giving that public participation, planning commission input before that consistency determination is made by the planning staff. So thank you for all those that participated in getting us to this point as a city of San Ramon to have some procedures because it was not exactly clear in the past and kind of got us to this point. And so I'm pleased that we are where we are. And I look forward to the test case coming up with the Iron Horse Village project and any adjustments we need to make as we refine this procedure going down the road. So again, no action required from the council on this evening. Anything else, Mr. City Attorney, on this?
No, I think that'll do it. Thank you.
Okay. Then with that, we will close this action out or close this item out. We'll move on to item 11, interim city manager and city council member comments.
All right.
Stephen.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I do have a few items to mention this evening. On April 17th, an autonomous vehicle program will be launching in a partnership with Bishop Branch and 2CTA. That autonomous vehicle will travel from the transit center to the city center, crossing over one of our streets and mostly using the parking lots of Bishop Branch. At some point, there will be, though, planned regular service that's open to the public. So we will get that word out if people want to ride an autonomous vehicle. That launch is set to take place the day before. On the 18th is the Redefining Mobility Summit. It's the 8th summit from 2CTA over at Bishop Branch. And then the other update all revolves around April 22nd. You already mentioned Sheep Shearing Day on April 22nd. So the public should know that you need tickets for sheep shearing. You can get that at the San Ramon Historic Foundation website. Also, as it was mentioned on April 22nd, that's the end of volunteer week. And that day, very busy Saturday, we have our city council goal setting workshop. So we will try to avoid sheep shearing day in the future for the goal setting workshop. But this year, it was just a matter of scheduling and we'll make sure next year that it's scheduled a little bit sooner. So not only do we have that in preparation for the budget, but we won't have to miss sheep shearing day. That is it for the update.
Okay, let's we'll start over with Councilmember Rubio. Any comments?
Yeah, well, I think basically just what's transpired, I've been doing since our last meeting. We did alongside all of you, we did select our new planning commissioner, Syed. So, and then the following day on Thursday, April 6th, we had, I attended another water education for Latino leaders meeting, where we discussed water quality and conservation and the various solutions long-term on supply across California. And then on Monday, April 10th, I attended a traffic special meeting to approve a transition of reduced rides to all free rides for those who qualify and to differentiating, like making sure that we have that we're not double counting, like when we have a unique rider. We you know, some people qualify under multiple categories, so just making sure we're having an accurate count, which will help with funding. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Let me go over to Councilmember Rose.
I don't have many updates. SWAT meeting on last Monday was canceled. And I want to thank our San Ramon Parks and Community Services Department for our dog bark and ride dog park resurface with the grass. So community is very happy. Residents send me notes and comments.
Gotta thank
thanking
Public
for
Works
them.
too.
Thanks to Public Works. Yes.
Public Works.
Sorry, I go together. So thank you very much for all the good work. That's pretty much from my side.
All right, great. Yeah, that was a great, great reopening of the Bark and Ride, and public services staff, parks staff were out there. A lot of dogs. My dog had a lot of fun that day. And I don't know who gave us these, but thank you for these up here on the dais. It was a beautiful park, very well done, and I know it's going to be very popular. Oh, you want to say anything?
Well, the mayor usually goes last.
Okay. I will hold my other comments.
But this is really distracting because, you know, it's like in the movie Up, you know, ball, squirrel. Mayor's conference, Mark and I attended mayor's conference. And you weren't there. No, you weren't there. No, Steve was there. We had a presentation by the CCTA Executive Director, Tim Hale, on the Gomentum Station up in Concord, and the fact that it is being used not just by CCTA, but most of the major autonomous vehicle manufacturers are using it. They had 200 uses of their Gomentum, which is, it's streets, it's intersections, it's merging, it's pedestrians, it's all kinds of stuff. So it's getting a lot of use up there, and they're hoping to make it a national resource for autonomous vehicle development. So that was a very interesting presentation. TVTC, I sit on the finance committee. They had a budget presentation, and we're in really good shape. We'll have about a $90,000 budget for the year. It doesn't take a lot. I mean, because most of the administrative help is done within city and county resources. But of course, we have legal, finance, audit, and web services. So TVTC is there to distribute monies for projects throughout the Tri-Valley area. And last but not least, I would like the policy committee to consider authorizing that the vice mayor receive mayor pay during the term that he has been serving, and post date to when he started serving as the mayor, in fact, recognizing that he has been just pulled 1,000 different ways as the mayor does. So I would have said go to the finance committee, but Mark and I are the finance committee. And so that would be kind of awkward. So I recommend the Mr. City Manager, could you arrange for the policy committee to consider that?
I see the city attorney is grabbing his microphone.
Yeah, okay, what do we got?
Oh, well, I don't think that it actually needs to go to the policy committee. If you prefer to just bring it to the full council for a quicker action, then
Okay.
we could just do it that way.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, just during the term that the vice mayor is serving as mayor, I look at Mark's schedule and the list of events that he goes to, and honestly, the mayor, I know when he is serving in that position, it's a big burden, and while none of us do it for the money, I think we ought to recognize that there is some element there. And that's my comments. Now you can go.
Okay.
How do you follow that, right?
All right. With that, I will continue with some comments. On last week, we had a member from the fire district that provided us a tour.
That's right. Yeah.
Of the new public safety complex and the emergency operations center that will also serve as a joint dispatch center for SRPD and the fire district. Incredible work that's been done over there on that renovation and with the kind of the rise, the construction of that new EOC. So I know SRPD is really looking forward to getting all that kind of all the final checks on that, and maybe we'll have a formal tour or a ribbon cutting or something sometime down in the future, but I think we're getting really close on that. So that was a beautiful facility. Let's see, on the 8th of April, so just last weekend, I had the privilege to attend a Korean cultural festival sponsored by the Hansamo organization over at the Doherty Valley Performing Arts Center. Tremendous presentations there, dance and music and different performances by young students. And I had the opportunity to present some certificates as well, but it was incredible what our youth are doing and the skills that they're learning, and just because it's not just about being learning a skill or an instrument or a dance. They're learning about their heritage. They're learning about respect. They're learning about discipline. They're learning about being a part of an entire diverse community. So it was a tremendous presentation. And then yesterday I attended 2 meetings. One was the Open Space Advisory Committee meeting. We talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about, let's see, the Open Space Advisory Committee participation at the Art and Wind Festival, which they will do again this year. We got a review of different waterways or different waterways, bridges, culverts, and trails in San Ramon. Very interesting presentation. And then heard about some Parks and Community Services summer trails activities that are going to be coming up. And then for the Senior Advisory Committee meeting, we had the privilege to hear some Brown Act training by the city attorney, as well as some information on Robert's rules of order for some of the new senior committee members. They also elected a new chair and vice chair, and went through a new list of committee liaison appointments, and then received a quarterly report on different activities going on at the senior center. So those are some of the things I've been up to lately. And yeah, I'm sorry to miss out on sheep shearing day this year, but we got our council meeting and goal setting workshop. And what else? Truck time? We want to talk about truck
Yeah,
time?
truck time, April 29 at 2700. At the 2700 Bishop Branch. Truck time, they'll have over 30 vehicles of various types, fire trucks, pickup trucks, dump trucks, front end loaders, you name it, we'll probably have one there. We've asked the Gomentum people to have a display there. So come on down. It is a fundraiser that will support the Ed Foundation, among others. Yes. As a member of the Ed, are you president of the Ed Foundation? Yeah, there he is. Like Gary's got nothing else to do. So president of the Ed Foundation. That's what happens when you're retired, right? You do everything else.
But I'm looking forward to that autonomous vehicle kickoff on the 17th. And I'm sorry I'll miss the mobility summit. I'll be out of town, but got a lot of good things coming up on the calendar. So with that, I think we are going to take public comment on this item 11, interim city manager and city council member comments.
Hey, we received a speaker card from Taiwan Country.
Okay.
Hi, council members. I've already addressed this yesterday in the Open Space Committee, but only Vice Mayor was present there. So for the other 3 council members' benefits, I would like to repeat myself. On the day or the days that you have the autonomous vehicles, the public really would like you guys to please make sure you clearly mark the areas where, you know, the routes that the autonomous vehicles will be traveling on, and how we should react should the autonomous vehicle goes haywire. Should there be an accident, you know, it would be a major liability for our city. So I'm sure our city manager is probably already working on that, but I still want to iterate my concern. Also, I do agree that vice mayor really deserves mayor's pay. If I can pay him more, actually, I would pay him more because wherever I go, I see this guy. And it's like from day one when he wasn't even a mayor. Yesterday, I went to 2 different meetings, one as early as 8:30. He was already there. The first time it was 8:30, that was a physical meeting. He was there and I was half an hour late. And then following that meeting for about 2 hours, he went straight to the senior center. And that meeting lasted till probably past noon or something like that. I'm sure he often have to endure starvation, because he has to sit through very early morning and probably other demands with other politicians, in the afternoon and things like that. So anyways, as a taxpayer, I would be happy to pay a mayor's pay for him. And thank you so much for your time. It is your time and your commitment that's really worth the money. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments on this item?
No other speakers or public comment.
Okay. So thank you. We will move now to item 12, public comment. If you have not previously spoken under public comment, which was item 4, please use the raise your hand feature on Zoom or dial *9 on your telephone. When it's your turn to talk and your name is called upon, you'll be given 3 minutes and a clock will be running on the Zoom screen. Do we have any members of the public for item 12?
There are no public comments and I have no hands raised.
Okay. Then with that, I will close public comment and we will take a brief recess here for a closed session. Before
we
let's
we have a public comment on closed session.
before we go to closed session, is there anyone from the public who would like to speak before the council adjourns? The topic is item 13.1, convene to closed session pursuant to California Government Code 54956.9 D1 for conference with legal counsel regarding existing litigation, Alan Evan Marling versus City of San Ramon et al., United States District Court, Northern District of California, case number 323 CV 00911-AGT.
There is. Silence the
Excuse me,
country.
through the vice mayor, if I may, before the speaker, and I apologize for cutting you off. I'm not going to be representing the city at this particular meeting as I'm a named defendant in this particular lawsuit.
Okay.
And Alicia Poon will be attending and we will also have outside counsel present for this closed session.
Okay.
So with that, I'll be leaving the room and
Okay.
be back with the council at
Okay, I have a
Adjourn.
question. I have a question for the council.
No, let me hold. He's got to recuse himself.
No, this question he must answer because he is going to spend more of our tax dollars on an outside counsel.
Just hold on a second. You'll get public comment in a moment, but I'm going to ask him to leave the room because he is asked to be excused from this discussion. Okay, go ahead.
I love our city attorney. He really is something. He is not the only one who was named as a defendant. A bunch of you are, and a bunch of you from all the different departments, which is crazy. This case has all the characteristics of a frivolous lawsuit, like the one that was just filed against former President Donald Trump. This is politically motivated. Who is Evan Marlin or Alex Marlin or Alex Evan Marlin? Per this particular search I pulled up, he is described as a projection activist. And he is sitting on some sort of board that's just slam people with litigation. When the attorney said that Alicia Poon is going to take this case, guess what? All the stars now Have everyone on this case that are suing you guys Asians? The magistrate judge is an Asian.
All right,
Alex
let's
Tse.
let's keep that out of
Alicia
this
Poon
conversation.
is an Asian. Our legal assistant,
That's not-
Naomi Yen, is an
That's not
Asian.
relevant. I will.
It is relevant.
It-
It is relevant.
It's
It
not
is
relevant.
relevant, just like Alan Bragg ran on suing Donald Trump. And the judge who was taking Alan Bragg's case donated to Biden. This is a politically motivated case. If Alicia Poon is any good and has any legal integrity, he would file dismissal and move this case to a different court, have a different race of judge so that all stars don't line up. Everyone working on suing the city are Asian with Chinese last names.
All right. Do we have any other speakers?
There are no other speakers this evening.
Okay, then I will close public comment on this item. We will reconvene in open session with a report out when we are completed.
I want 12 seconds of pay there.
Okay, the council has reconvened from closed session back to open session. The council has met in closed session to discuss the subject litigation and has nothing to report at this time. And with that,
Say goodnight.
the meeting is adjourned until our next regularly scheduled city council meeting.